Hello everyone, it's Charlton. Just some highlights of what's been released yesterday, the video and 911 calls, and some of the stuff I've been paying attention to. And it's just some bits and pieces, so here it is, man. Sure, but it was the most interesting of the 5 videos that I saw here. Um, so you can, I think you can see the lights flashing at street level there. That might be the window right there. But that seems high, for no, that's not the window. I was wrong about that. Because he's over here. He would be in this area. I mean, this flashing light here, is that his window? Or is that something from the street? I think it's something from the street. This thing here. This flashing right there. I believe that's just a reflection, but I'm not positive. But that would be in the vicinity of his room, I would think. Anyways, it doesn't reveal a lot, and none of these videos do. But that was the most, the most interesting of the bunch that were. This one, same thing, is at from, I guess it's from the Luxor. It might even be a closed circuit TV from the Luxor. That pyramid building, and but it doesn't. There's not. You don't see much of anything. You can see that there's cars down here with flashing lights. It looks like police. So it's presumably after the shooting is over. Um, but you really don't see barely anything in this video here. But you quickly see it go from being crowded to almost empty. In a matter of minutes. And I wish I had the. I think I do. And then it goes to being almost empty. And actually, I'll pull it up. You see, just before. So here is the video of prior to the shooting, and it shows you the extent of the crowd. The crowd's massive, and there is, in fact, there's 22,000 people there easily, and it's just people everywhere crammed into this massive venue. But that crowd quickly goes from that to being, gone with a matter of minutes, once the incident begins. And when that happens, there's just nothing to shoot at anymore. And that's why he knew it was over. And whatever chance he had to blow the tanks and kill as many people as he possibly could, which I believe was his goal, was over. And so it wasn't a matter of there was no reason to shoot it out with law enforcement. That's why he just killed himself, and it was toast. So, I mean, it's just massive. Look at the people everywhere. It's hard to see exactly there, but you'll see, I think, later in here. Right there. Look at that. So you go from that to, you know, to um, to this, where it's just empty, and it was over for him. His grand plan to kill, I believe he intended to kill hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. That was his plan, but it was it was foiled to some extent by circumstances that were he just didn't foresee. The tanks not blowing for him, a security person showing up right when he was just putting in the finishing touches to get ready to do it, and you know, and all the time elements that just go into this, the precision and so forth. And frankly, he was probably drinking, all sorts of stuff, millions of factors. I mean, part of the, you know, I've been listening to Aces Wild has Doug Poppa, you know, another interview with him, and that person who I think is a famous reporter in New York, in Las Vegas. It's a very interesting 40-minute interview. He talks, and Doug Poppa's been reading through the 2,000 pages. I haven't read through any of it, and I can't. I just don't have time. You know, I got work to do. So, but it's very interesting. And one of the things he pulled out was the security supervisor's interview with the FBI in the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, I think on the 12th of October. And his version of events that compares with the officer Hendricks and the trainee, whose name I think is Varson, is a female officer. And they're all in the security headquarters when the incident, they get word of it. And it comes over the radio that there's shots fired. And literally that officer Hendricks, he hears that on somebody's radio or come over the dispatch. And he literally says to somebody, "Did you hear that?" And that's when it begins. And they go, you know, they initially go, I think it's him, the trainee, and 3 security supervisors who are armed, begin to make their way to the front of the Mandalay Bay because they believe that there's literally shooters moving towards the Mandalay Bay from the venue or in their direction towards the Mandalay Bay. And it actually turns out that it's just the concert goers who are running from the shooting. They have no idea what's going on at this point. You'll have to listen to the interview yourself. You really will. It's impossible for me to describe it in detail. But they head up to the 31st, 32nd floor, and that's where there's differing accounts, whether they go to the 31st or the 32nd floor, depending on whether you're reading the security supervisor's account of it or Officer Hendricks' account of it. And I think there's still Officer Varson, the trainee. I think Doug Poppa was still digging through the 2,000 pages to find that and read that and compare that to the other two. So, you know, it's interesting for sure. I mean, one thing that, and this, I mean, Doug Poppa had mentioned in one of his interviews at the tail end of it about when he was listening to this over the scanner that night, and he initially thought, hearing all these police reports over the scanner, that it was a Mumbai, India style attack, you know, and you know, where multiple terrorists were attacking simultaneously because of what he was hearing on the scanner. And that's sort of a police officer's mind at work, you know. And the fact that the officers kind of set up, and they're getting these reports that kind of validate what they were thinking, but it's almost because of your, you know, you if you're a police officer, and I'm not a police officer, so I don't know this, but I'm just, let me take a guess at this, you know, that it's almost like that's what you would expect if you're a police officer. If you're looking at this venue, that's what you see. You see, like, you know, the potential for an attack, and you would see like, wow, if somebody could, you know, people could easily attack this from multiple locations simultaneously. And that's what a police officer, like, they immediately see where the danger is. And that's why they set up a base, you know, south of Mandalay Bay, so that they wouldn't be caught in the crossfire. But they thought, they thought it was happening, but that's what they thought beforehand, if you follow me. And it just kind of feeds on itself. Anyways, you know, and I think I'm going to leave it there, man. Until next time, thanks for watching my videos. I really appreciate all the support, and please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.